Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to your reading with me, Cindy. So, Scorpio, what I want to do today for you is I'm going to go into a few different decks here. I'm feeling compelled to go into my archetypal deck and my tarot deck, as well as my Moonology deck. And what I'm going to do with that, here's the plan. I'm going to pull out two archetypal cards. One is going to be your energy right now, and the other card is going to be some sort of energy outside of you. Who that is, we don't know until we pull more cards, but it'll be something that's significant enough to come through in the reading. And then we're going to pull out some tarot cards and kind of see what information we can get from that. What I want to do with the Moonology deck is, because we're going to sort of establish energetic resonance between you and something outside of you. Then I want to use the Moonology deck to kind of figure out, well, where is this going? Where is this taking you? Or them, or us. We're going with this energy. Where is it going to end up? So there you go, Scorpio. There is an extended at the end of this as well. The link is at the top of the description if you are drawn to it. And extended, I will continue to look for more potential outcome and advice for you moving forward. But right now, Scorpio, let's get started. I was checking because the Hermit wouldn't go away. I keep splitting the deck and it wouldn't go away. Maybe that means something to somebody. Scorpio, their energy and the energy outside of them. How are these energies represented at this time? So your energy, you have the card, you have warrior. Strength, skill, discipline, and toughness of will. Heroism, stoicism, and self-sacrifice and conquering the ego. It's an awful lot wrapped up into that. Whoa, that's like a really spiritual kind of card in a way, actually. That's a hugely spiritual card. You're on sort of, I would call it almost like a spiritual warrior. You're strengthening yourself on a lot of different levels here. You know, I want to say, like, we talk about discipline and toughness of will. So there's a sense of, and strength. And so self-control, focusing where you would truly like to send your focus as opposed to allowing it to be distracted and to move into other directions or in ways that you truly don't intend it to. Heroism, stoicism, like kind of being the strong silent type, like the hero. Being the hero and being stoic, that's really interesting. Because I always think of stoic as one who doesn't necessarily say anything. Not easily poked. Kind of, you know, that kind of energy. Having a lot of, and self-sacrifice and conquering the ego. You know, it kind of feels like you're really letting like some stuff go here so that you can open up yourself more spiritually. Self-sacrifice and conquering the ego. Looking into deeper, it's very Scorpio. If we think about it on that level where I'm taking this is self-sacrifice and conquering the ego is death and rebirth. A death and rebirth. Like almost like throwing yourself on the cross. This isn't good. This needs to be, I need to be cleansed. This cycle needs to be cleansed, or I need to be cleansed. There's so much going on in this. There's a lot. I think this is the first time I've ever pulled this card. And out of all the cards I've ever really looked at in this deck, to me there is like probably more going on in this than any of the ones that I've ever pulled before. But it's an awful lot of internal work. Okay, so what's the one outside of you? Thief. So it is a thief. But what kind of thief? Thief. Sheds light on the potential wealth within you that can never be stolen. I'm just looking at the shadow attribute too to try to get a deeper meaning on this card. Now, if I look at the depiction, it's kind of, hey baby, look what I got here. But it's a heart. Like it's not, you know, you kind of think about a guy like in a long trench coat and there's two options usually there. There's option number one. Actually, both options could end the person up in jail, right? Like, that's not appropriate. You should have something under that coat, buddy. Kind of like that. And then there's the other, you know, what do you associate with a person with a coat like that? I got some watches you want to buy. Shh, don't tell anybody. So it's kind of like, it's kind of like that, but it's a heart. So it's not bad. It's cute. Because you might be I can't stop laughing. I feel so immature. Because it's so cute in a way. It's not how, it's some, okay, there's some sort of energy outside of you. Sheds light on the potential wealth within you that can never be stolen. That's what this person is doing. I don't know that they're necessarily directing that towards you. You know what? I don't think you notice. Because I just, like, look at this. Okay? You're back. Because you are doing something really internal here. You're like throwing yourself on the cross over and over again to cleanse some stuff going on. And you're kind of doing this. It's like, hey. So there's some sort of energy outside of you too that I feel like is negotiating the value of who they are and what they have. They're kind of stealing that back for themselves with thief. The shadow attribute is stealing money, creative ideas, affection, or other powers you think you lack. So, like, things that you think you... But I'm reading this in the light. I don't... I mean, we could... I thought about pulling out a shadow attribute for each one of you. I could still do that. You know, it is Scorpio. You want to go there? Let's do it. Let's do it, Scorpio. Let's pull out a shadow card for both of you. I feel like this person is coming into some sort of understanding as to what their power truly is. What they really have to offer. And they're, you know, getting ready to share it a little bit. It's like opening up the code a little. It's so funny. Well, you know what? It is sort of like more like I got some watches to sell, right? Because when it's just the one arm opening up the code, that's, I think, we associate that with someone who has like some hot merchandise that, as opposed to both open. I think Scorpio could appreciate that. But that's what I associate with a man in a trench coat like that. See, he's got like his hat down. Like, you can't tell anybody about it. Okay, what is the shadow attribute? If you even have one with what you're doing. Although, no, trading, that's an awful lot. You got all that going on for your shadow? Interesting. I'm going to keep those. So, because the shadow for the warrior is trading ethical principles for victory at any cost, indifference to the suffering inflicted on others. That doesn't feel like, no, I don't feel like that. And actually, when I look at these shadow attributes, it's really interesting. Okay, so what's the shadow attribute? Wow. The hermit. Oh, how crazy is that? Remember, I couldn't get rid of the hermit when I was shoveling. And I looked again, it's just still there. The hermit. So the shadow attribute of this person withdraws from society out of fear or negative judgments of others, refusing to help those in need. It's really funny how, like, there's kind of like wanting it to come out. I think they're working through their shadow, though. This really goes really well with this. Refusing to help those in need. I don't really feel like refusing. I feel like this person is kind of focusing, well, the hermit is self-reflection, like really focusing within. They're trying to be able to let their heart shine. And look at, they are doing that. They're just kind of like just a little peek. Just a little peek of my heart. That's all you're going to get here. The potential wealth within that. So, sorry, I have a tendency to spit right now with all the braces and things in my mouth, so it's okay. We don't need to social distance on the camera. This is fascinating. I haven't even gotten to the tarot cards yet. So, this person is really recognizing the wealth they have within themselves. And that's something that is, you know, has no monetary value, obviously. They are For whatever reason, now this would be interesting to know why. This person has probably been hurt in love before. Because that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to open up their heart chakra, but they're withdrawn. You probably don't see this person. They're fearful of some sort of negative judgment. Oh, okay, so you. I kind of feel all, for this person. Let's see you though. Okay, you're like this light warrior right now, but your shadow, you got two. So you have student, but the shadow attribute of that is arrogance in the pursuit of destructive knowledge, unwillingness to translate knowledge into action. And then you have rebel. The shadow attribute is rejects legitimate authority out of anger, rebels out of peer pressure or fashion. Maybe these are things that you're working on with this self-sacrifice of the ego. Arrogance and the pursuit of destructive knowledge. Unwillingness to translate knowledge into action. So perhaps having information in the past and not really using it for yourself or for others here. Like not allowing it to become something useful. Knowing thing. Well, see, Scorpio can be a very secretive energy. So maybe you're kind of working through that. And rejects legitimate authority out of anger. So there is some sort of rebellion. Well, rebel. I don't really see Scorpio as a kind of energy that would rebel out of peer pressure or fashion. And particularly with what your light attribute. So I don't want to get too focused on the shadow attribute, because your light attribute is amazing. It's really, really good. But it kind of gives us some idea of what you're kind of working through here. So there might be structures or things around you that you see are negative, or they can pull people down because you're really pulling up here. I wouldn't say that I would see it totally as like a shadow of you, but it might be the sort of the catalyst to what you're going through even. All right, so now let's go to the tarot. Oh, what was at the bottom? I don't know if that means father. Talent for creating and supporting life. Positive guiding light within a tribal unit. Huh. And then the shadow is dictatorial control, abusive authority. See, there's a little bit of that you're rebelling against, I feel like. Is the shadow part. Maybe it's recognizing where these energies that you rebel against, when they are not always needed to be, you don't always need to rebel against them. Like they have positive attributes too. Or maybe you've only experienced people who have elements of power or dictatorship, and they abuse that. So trying to come to terms with the fact that not everybody does. And what's really interesting is you could look at the feminine and the masculine in this. And that can be like within us as well, or it can be how you identify yourself. But all of these cards look very feminine. The student is hard to tell because they're kind of in a tree. So it could be androgynous, but the other ones look very feminine, and these are definitely masculine. And then this is masculine. So this could be something going on here about, you know, feeling like in the past, certain masculine energies, and masculine energies can represent like institutions, our world, structures, laws. It could even be like the men that have been in your life. But obviously, like, not everybody is going to be like that. Okay, so let's see what the tarot cards are for you and this energy outside of you. You have the Wheel of Fortune, the Three of Wands, and the Seven of Swords. Yeah, I kind of feel like karmic energy is shifting around you, like a cycle is changing, and you can expect like things that you've put your work into to start coming towards you. But with the Five of Swords, it's like take and go, give and receive, or you're like, it's almost like a fight or flight, but not like take it or run away from it. It's really a weird kind of energy. Accept that it's coming in, or run out of it, or run away from it. Now, I don't know if there's something to do with authority here that's making you edgy. And authority, it could be things that you've dealt with even like your parents or elders. It could be authority that you've dealt with in institutions and like the world in general. But there's something that's causing you like to expect good things to come in, but on some level here, also being ready to run away from it if it's not serving you. With the Five of Swords. I'll take it and go, thanks. I don't know. I'm going to have to clarify. It's definitely too, because I look at this monkey and he's looking at the Aries symbol, which is interesting because we're in the sign of Aries right now. But I think of like Mars energy too, like initiating, taking control, going after what it is that you want. But you see, I'm not really seeing that here. I'm seeing like, expecting things to come in, but also either you expecting things to move away from you or you move away from things that you're not comfortable with. Now, over here where we have the Thief and the Hermit, we have the Five of Wands, the Fool, and the Moon card. This person is going through like a real internal conflict here. A real internal conflict to do something that really puts them completely out of their comfort zone. And there's a ton of fear. And who knows where the hell this is going to go. Yeah. I don't even see how your energies come together. It's really curious that they're both showing up in your reading somehow. So maybe it's somebody that you're dealing with that you're not communicating with at all, with this Hermit. But at some point, your energies, I'm guessing, will come together. Something's going to happen that they would be showing up in your reading. But there is really, this person is, with the Fool into the Moon, and the Five of Wands leading up to it, it is really like a big battle to take some sort of step here. Like a step that they've never taken before. They feel, right? Look at this. Withdraw from society out of fear of negative judgment or of others. There could be like some sort of fear of being judged. Something that they're going to do or they want to do. They're kind of, they feel compelled to do it with the Fool, but let me pull these out. Actually, before I clarify, let's pull out a Moonology card now. Like, where does this energy go? Where's this taking Scorpio? It's almost like I'm looking at two train tracks and I'm thinking, okay, well, I don't know. I feel like these two train tracks are going like this. So what is this? Like, why is Scorpio even need to know this? Although this happens to me a lot in Scorpio readings, and you guys are always good in the comments. It's okay, Cindy. We get it. We're Scorpio. We understand what's going on. So where is this going? What does this all mean for Scorpio? Like, why? Where does this end up going for Scorpio? Can you tell us? What is the, 3 cards, of course. Why not? So you have Surrender to the Divine, Full Moon. Your commitment is being tested first quarter, and work through your fears. New moon in Scorpio. Wow, they're all purpley. You are surrendering to the divine. Your commitment is being tested. I'm curious about that one. I kind of think that sometimes that is about stay on your path. Are you sure about your path? It's almost like giving you an option. You sure you want to go on this path? But yeah, you seem kind of funny here. Like, I don't know. Like, you're not sure where your path is, maybe. Kind of feels like you're not sure where your path is, because you've also, it feels like with the Warrior card that you've let a lot of things go. You know, if you've been following paths throughout life, if you can imagine yourself in the woods, and you've been following a lot of different paths, and you've let a lot of those go, you've dropped them behind you, and you kind of just end up in the woods, and there's no path, there's no trail around you. Thinking, well, do I make a new path? Do I find an old path that no one's been on in a while? Where do I go? What do I do? I really feel that with this energy here, but you know, this too could also be, this could be something going on with a father for you, or a father-like figure, or an older man, because there is sort of like this female, this feminine, spiritual energy that on some level I feel like might be driven by negative experiences with masculine energy. It doesn't feel toxic in any way though. Like I just think that it's sort of a response to some sort of stimuli that's occurred, and it does on, like, for the most part, it feels pretty healthy what's going on here. But I feel like there's something that hasn't been worked out. That's what this feels like to me. It feels like there's something that hasn't been worked out. Scorpio, I'm negotiating this. It's something to do with the masculine, right? Because then you have the depiction of the masculine on this side. This could be someone who's never shared their feelings or emotions with you. It could be like a father, a grandfather, an uncle, a brother. It could be a partner, someone who's never shared their feelings before. And I think they want, like, they almost feeling like they need to do this to bring this connection around, or to connect with you again. But they feel like there's some fear and trepidation on their part about doing this. So I want to say, well, then there's some sort of history here, or at least not with you indirectly. You've both experienced some sort of past history that is kind of reflective of what you're both dealing with. Yeah. So surrender to the divine. That's where this is going. Surrender to the divine. Your commitment is being tested, and work through your fears. I can see that for sure on their side. There's some sort of Five of Wands full moon. There is like a lot of internal discomfort in terms of where this could go. I mean, they could feel like maybe you might reject them, or make them feel foolish for opening up to you or coming towards you. So when we get where this is going, surrender to the divine, and your commitment is being tested, I feel like you're going to be led along a path here. And it might not be what you expect, or something that you didn't expect or kind of see coming. Believe, just like have some faith here, because you're in this process right now. So you're kind of in a way like really connected. Now, unwillingness to translate knowledge into action. So perhaps there's some breadcrumb trails being left for you, and you're being stubborn about it. So I'm just going to stick with the easiest scenario, but you know, you can see how it applies to you in terms of this feminine and masculine juxtaposition here. Is that, you know, so maybe what if this is like a father or an uncle or brother, someone that you have not, or it could have been a lover at one time that you have not communicated with in a while, and there was some sort of conflict or misunderstanding the last time you did communicate to this person. Maybe like a couple people have said, oh, you know what, so-and-so was asking about you the other day. Oh yeah. You know, it could be like that, but it's kind of like, well, the universe is trying to tell you that there's something here that wants to be opened up. Now, I don't feel like, I'm not getting the energy, because I know some people might say, this is my ex. It doesn't feel like an ex. I want to say that. Like, it doesn't feel like that. It does not feel like an ex. So it could be a love interest, but I feel like if it is, I feel like it's something that never got off the ground. It feels a little stronger to me, like it is some sort of masculine energy that could be a family member. Depending on your age too, like it could be a son that you're dealing with. And this person wants to open up, but they're really kind of freaked out about it. Like, work through your fears. I think for both of you, you have to surrender to the divine. The divine is taking control of this card. Sort of feels like the divine is taking control of this card, Scorpio. And in that, your commitment will be tested here. Do you trust the divine? Do you trust the divine to not lead you astray? Oh, sorry, you can't see those. That's what I feel like is sort of your journey in this, surrendering to the divine. And this other energy is working through their fears. Because here you are, the Scorpio, new moon in Scorpio. Oh, and I'll be honest too, I mean, Scorpio's kind of sign, like, they take their emotions and their relationships pretty seriously. So if somebody done you wrong in the past, you might be like ready to pull out that little stinger. And maybe they're worried about that. So your commitment will be tested on this. I feel like that's the biggest message for you. There will be some level of surrendering to the divine. Have some faith in where this will go. It may just go in a direction where you get some sort of closure with someone. Some information is shared and you get some sort of closure. It may open up a path where you bring a relationship back together again with this person. They have to work through their fears. So I'm not going to focus on that too much, because really this is, so you're reading what you need to do, but you can kind of see how you both have something that you need to do. The bottom is the Eight of Wands and the Page of Pentacles. And you know what? After I pulled those out, I don't feel like I have to clarify. Although I am curious about your in your Five of Swords. Their energy is easier to read than yours. To be honest, it actually is. This is a movement towards like something new, something innocent, something like clear and open. There's a little bit of murkiness here, and I feel like it's kind of, well, yeah, their energy is really easy to read. Scorpio. So what is this? Okay, let's just get clarifiers for the Five of Swords for one thing. What's this Five of Swords? What do you... I'm out of here, man. You just, well... The Star and the Two of Pentacles. I kind of feel like you're trying to take a practical approach. Like coming out into some sort of new cycle for yourself. You're a new cycle. And you're taking the practical approach here. And that practical approach is based heavily on, is this something that I really wish for myself? Is this something really good and really healthy for me? Could this be a wish? If not, I'm out of here. I'm not wasting my time on anything that's not of some sort of higher value, which would make sense because it's sort of like that. What was that warrior card? It might be like someone like just laying yourself on the cross over and over again to just cleanse away whatever was there before. So continuing to take that forward into your life. So there is caution here with you. And maybe if you're dealing with someone from the past and the energy was confusing or there was conflict, there was never any feelings or emotions expressed, because it feels like this person is trying to, like, you can just get a little peek. Get a little peek of my heart and that's it. And then, but currently they're in this like hermit Hi, Scorpio. Sorry, I had a technical difficulty. And I didn't realize it until I actually pulled clarifiers for this. So the person was in hermit mode. We were talking about that. And then so I did go in and I wanted to clarify this Three of Wands for you. So I pulled out cards, and these are what I got. I got the Two of Cups, the Eight of Cups, the Four of Swords, and the Hanged Man. So basically, like, releasing a lot of like really poignant energy in your life. Like this could be walking away from things where, you know, maybe even on the surface, like this feels like it's something really good, but you have to walk away to heal and see everything differently. It's really a self-sacrificial energy. Really, really is. Like everything that you had coming out in here, I'm getting it right here. Like this is a self-sacrifice. Walking away from something you feel really strongly about to heal and to see everything differently. Oh, and then, so the other thing that came in with me is sort of where on a level you are actually starting to surrender to the divine yourself. Because this is, to me, this Three of Wands with the cards that came out to clarify it, it speaks to me about if something is meant for me, it will come to me. Like if if it's for you, you let it free. If it's meant to be yours, it will come back. That's really what that is. Big time. Like the birds are coming in, but she's also releasing the birds back out into the wild. So it's very self-sacrificial that you've done there. So in terms of with this Five of Swords that you have with the Star and the Two of Pentacles, yeah, if it's not something to do that's healing and healthy and pure, you're kind of going to weigh out how it is, and then make a decision. And if you have to walk away from it, you're going to walk away from it. And even if that means something that might seem like the Two of Cups, if it doesn't seem like it's a healthy Two of Cups, you're not going to do it. That's pretty cool. So that's kind of, yeah, like, that's what I wanted to clarify. And I thought that was interesting. I mean, right there speaks everything about your self-sacrifice. And on some level, you could say it is a little bit selfish because you are only interested in anything that is for your higher good, only interested in anything that is pure, is healing, is going to be a path of enlightenment, is going to be a path of good things, better days. That's huge. That's a big thing. Like, I don't think walking away from the Two of Cups to just heal yourself and see everything differently is very easy for most people to do. Most people don't even walk away from things that are half as good as that. So pretty interesting energy. I just want to get a little bit of idea why there's so much fear here about this leap of faith. Oh, that's interesting. The Six of Pentacles and the Nine of Wands. Oh, maybe this person was not able to give any sort of energy or to you. They've had to, again, it's like a father figure giving out to others. So I don't know, you could too be dealing with a parent and they always paid attention to your siblings. It's someone here, there's some sort of fear, and they've been so busy too. I think this person has had a lot of focus in terms of where they've had to direct their energy. They've had to keep a balance in their life in terms of their responsibilities and who they dish that out to, who they share that with. And they're kind of feeling like they're not winning. They're kind of feeling like they're not winning with you, perhaps because of something outside of them even. But these somethings outside of them can be things that you're related to as well. But an equal give and take. Maybe you haven't received an equal give and take from this person or this situation. And with the Nine of Wands, I think there's still some hope here to win the war. They may not have won the battle and they're feeling kind of wary about it. So that's interesting. That was really an interesting read. So I'll have to edit that to fix the technical difficulty. You have the Nine of Pentacles at the bottom. It's sort of like an indirect way that you are, like, maybe you are looking after things on the physical sense here. Looking after an awful lot on a deeper realm here, Scorpio. I've never pulled out cards like that before. that Three of Wands and the Two of Cups, walking away from the Two of Cups to heal and to see everything differently, and just to surrender to the divine with a belief that if I let it go, if it's meant for me, it will come back. It will find its way to me somehow. You guys should write like a little book, a little self-help on that, because that's big. Like I said, a lot of people don't walk away from anything half as good as that, or half as feel good, because it's cups. So even half as feel good as that. Something wasn't right to you, or maybe there wasn't something right within you, and you needed to address that. So it's beautiful. So I'm going to go do the extended. Thank you so much, Scorpio. That was a really interesting reading. It's, like all my readings, it always takes a while to get down into it and really find out the truth about what's going on. So thank you for allowing me to do that for you. Until next time, do be gentle with yourselves. Bye.